Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we are here to talk all about Polite Society, a new brand from Too Faced creators Jared Blandino and Jeremy Johnson. We are going to discuss two of the four products, the Go Flush Yourself Blush and Glow Face Palette, which as you see I am wearing very prominently. It's very peachy shades, isn't it? And the More Than a Pretty Face Skin Caring Foundation. So let's get into it. There are two other products. We'll talk all about it. Okay, so Jared and Jeremy started Too Faced when they both worked respectively at different makeup counters in Costa Mesa, California, at the famous South Coast Plaza Mall. They built an empire in Too Faced, especially with scented cosmetics, and we all know, I don't have to tell you about Too Faced, but of course they did sell to Estee Lauder in 2016. They stayed on board directing things and recently left. They have come back, and they have started something called Toy Box Brands, okay? It's almost like a beauty brand incubator. Forgive me if that's a naive way to put it. It might be a little off. But, you know, basically they're going to develop a lot of beauty brands there. They started with something called Diamond Drunk, which was it's like a scented non-toxic jewelry cleaner called Diamond Drunk. You might have seen it advertised, and they're behind that. But they also started a brand new beauty brand called Polite Society. That's what we're going to look at today. It is an interesting brand for a few reasons. The first is that it's clean beauty that is not meant to be boring. That's what they say. They say clean beauty doesn't have to be boring. They launched exclusively with Ulta. They have their own website too, and it might be sold on there. I'll have to look. But Ulta is claiming it's their exclusive. There was also a lip oil and a mascara. I didn't pick those up. I tried to get the two bigger products, okay? And that is the More Than a Pretty Face Skin Caring Foundation, which is $42 and comes in 30 shades. I bought the shade Light Neutral, and we are going to look at that today. I am wearing it now, so you're getting a preview. And we've actually already done the wear test. You'll see when you see the demo. We did a 3-hour wear test. That's what I had today. And we'll take a look at how that fares in those 3 hours. For me, when I have problems with the foundation, it usually comes up there. But I'll put on the screen later on how it lasted because I'm going to end up wearing it the whole day. I just can't film, okay? So we'll talk about that. It is in this very pretty container, but thankfully it's flat on the bottom, so it doesn't have to be stored like this. It does stand up, but it's a bit of a storage nightmare because it's not thin, and it's not normally shaped, so some of you won't like that. I just wanted to point that out. But there is no sort of scent to it or fragrance, and it's transfer proof and all that good stuff, and has all sorts of good skin caring properties in it. So we'll look at that today and do a wear test. The other of the bigger in this early releases is interesting. This is called, I'm cleaning it off because it got a little fingerprinty, the Go Flush Yourself Blush and Glow Face Palette. It is $39. The prices aren't bad, very mid-level prices. This has 3 blush and 1 highlighter. And interestingly enough, let me open this up. The space here on the side, it's pretty packaging, and the space on the side I felt was wasted, but usually it's underneath, so you're going to have that somewhere to make the palette sturdy. Okay, so take a look at it. There's a mirror. So we have 3 blush shades and 1 highlighter. We're going to swatch it in 2 different lightings, but can I just talk about the references here? This has a very strong kind of peach scent. What brand got famous with a peach scent? Very cool. I actually think it's clever as can be. Basically, Jared and Jeremy referencing their history, their innovation. We all know the peach palette, chocolate scents, peach scents from Too Faced. I don't think they'll rely on that all the time, but I actually think it's kind of fun that they reference it. Now, before you say, wait a minute, clean beauty, why is there fragrance? I will say that the fragrance in this is a peach nectar and a crushed rose. So it's real and therefore still goes with clean beauty. Just because something is real doesn't mean you're not allergic to it. Peanuts are legumes and they grow, and people that are allergic to peanuts are still going to get awfully sick from them, right? Same thing here. If you're allergic to peach nectar or roses or anything like that, you'll have trouble, but it does still fit the clean beauty. It's not chemical additives is what I meant to say. And it's a very strong, very pretty fragrance, but it is there and it is natural. This can be used on eyes, as you can see here, and cheeks, anywhere you want on the face, and you can blend the shades to get different shades. So we have two kind of slightly more matte or a little bit of a sheen on them blushes, then definitely a dewy reflective blush and a highlighter. Really pretty. Let's take a look at these shades, the way they're laid out in the palette on my arm in two different lightings. We're going to start here in studio lighting. There they are, laid out the same way you would see them in the palette. And studio lighting, very pretty. They swatch really nicely, highly pigmented, easy, smooth application, and color payoff, beautiful blendability. But if you want to see them the best, then you'll come outside with me into the warm California sunshine. Take a look at those on my arm outside, and they're beautiful. They're peach scented. They're very, I mean, like if I blindfolded you and then told you it was early Too Faced, you'd probably believe me. And there's nothing wrong with that. The intellectual property does belong to Jared and Jeremy, and I think it's a fun, playful reference. The other thing that this brand does, which is interesting, it's fun and silly, but I think there's a reason for it. In their listing of ingredients that they, for instance, do not include, it will say, you know, doesn't include parabens, doesn't include this or that, and then it will say doesn't include bigotry, doesn't include trolls. On lists of things that it includes, it will list the skin-caring ingredients, but it will also list honesty, and they kind of bury it in the middle. Not only is that fun, because it's cute and clever, it also makes you read the ingredients, which is kind of genius if you think about it, because a clean beauty brand needs to be quite serious about you referencing their ingredients. And this kind of gives you a fun way that makes you more interested in the ingredients. And they list them kind of down rather than a tiny print this way, so that you're drawn to read them. And then you start looking for the little hidden fun things in there. It doesn't include trolls, doesn't include bigotry. And I thought, clever, clever. It's not just to be silly, it's to make you read the ingredients because they're proud of them. So this interests me. Basically, toy box beauty brands interest me. Polite Society interests me. I don't know what I think of them yet. And they know that from all of us. They know this is a quick, interesting, simple release. They know that we're watching where they go from there. But what I want to do is talk about and try out the foundation and the face palette. And we're going to do both of that, and we're going to give a little ride on the foundation as well to see how it does. They know, we all know, everybody's wondering what they're gonna do here. But I have to tell you, and I say this later, whatever you think became of Too Faced, you've got to admit innovation, ingenuity, two geniuses leading things in the makeup industry. It'll be really interesting to see where this goes. Let's try it on. Stay right there. Well, let's get started. We have two products to try on, as you know. We are going to start with the More Than a Pretty Face Skin Caring Foundation, which you are supposed to shake well, so I'm making sure to do that. This is, again, shade Light Neutral, which I did a little sneaky test, and it looks like I did okay. And we shook it up a little bit there. I have my Sonia G Fusion brush. You guys know I love to put on a foundation with that, and I'm going to do one side of the face. That's a lot, actually. I have no primer on. I have no concealer, and I'm not going to powder. Normally with concealer you'd want to powder a little bit. Why? Why, Rebecca? Why are you not? Because I don't want it to interfere with the look and how this foundation performs. That's why. No scent at all, true to its word, no fragrance in this. Okay, so keep in mind that I probably need a little bit of concealer that I don't have on. And that we are going to do something with the eyes, and I'm going to go do my eyebrows, all that stuff. We have Simply Skincare Only on this side of the face, and on this side of the face we have the brand new, I almost said Too Faced, but it's Polite Society More Than a Pretty Face Foundation. How did I do on the shade choice? What do you think? All right, let's speed it up and do the other side. Okay, full face done. What do you think? Again, this is the shade Light Neutral. How did I do? Not too bad, not too bad. Okay. I'm going to let that sit for a few hours. Then we'll come back and we'll apply the face palette, you know, get some eye looks and things like that, and I'll record. The wear test will kind of be both the intro and this. Let's take a look. Okay, it's been about 3 hours. I am just not wearing any blush, just mascara, a little bit of something on my lips. So in those 3 hours, let's take a look at how the More Than a Pretty Face Skin Caring Foundation held up. Once, yeah, I had to once, and now again, just a little bit here. That's just because I'm expressive. I didn't actually have to do that with the MAC, I will say. Underneath the eyes, you know, I need some concealer. I didn't add any. It's not creasing too badly. The creasing there is, you know, if I had had a concealer and a little powder, we can't put that on the foundation. Let's see on the pores. I do see my pores. It's not bad. It's better than some and worse than others. I do see my pores maybe a little more than I would like to. I would maybe like them to be a little bit more blurred. So I saw less pores with the MAC and less pore. Yeah, so I'm thinking of foundations that I have reviewed lately. The MAC would definitely be one of them. Everything's been a concealer lately, hasn't it? Yeah, the MAC blurs a little more than that. That's not bad, but it's not great. It's not bad at all on the chin. Maybe a little bit around here. Let's see. Here I just need concealer, and I didn't wear it on purpose, and here I need concealer. Yeah, not bad. Totally and completely feels like transfer proof. It feels really nice. Could use maybe a teeny bit of powder. We're going to actually put some on, though, with our blush palette, face palette. Not bad at all. Not bad, especially if you're a fan. You know, if Jared and Jeremy are you know, you like to follow them and loved Too Faced when they were running things. You know, I could see people flocking to this and liking this, and I could see this kind of akin to a kind of a Too Faced product. Okay. Let's try this brand new face palette now. We've done the wear test, that's out of the way. Let's have some fun with color right now. Okay, we have 3 shades of blush and 1 highlighter. And you know, I'm just gonna have some fun. Let's start with this blush right down here. We discussed the peach scent already. Nice, nice. And yes, it has that kind of Too Faced peachy scent. Very peachy. Pretty. Reminds me actually also of that Tom Ford peach fragrance that he did. Similar, honestly. Okay. Okay, very pretty, very peachy shade, very orangey shade. Let's do this one a little bit on top, because you can blend these, and you know, I'm just over exaggerating it just for the camera, just for you guys to kind of see. Isn't that pretty? And let's take that same brush. I was going to use a different one, but let's use the same and just kind of layer the highlight over it. Boy, when you put it on, it's a whiff of peach. A little bit more than Too Faced. You know, with Too Faced, I always say to you guys, don't worry if you're not a scent person, because you have to almost stick your nose in. Every time I do a Too Faced review, I stick my nose in so far that I kind of get a little dot on my nose. So this one, you're gonna really sniff it when you're putting it on. But actually, I think the Too Faced Peach Palette you kind of did, didn't you? That is strong. It's pretty, but it's strong. And here is a more kind of reflective peach shade. I'm just mixing them. I mean, it's really pretty. And it looks nice with that foundation that we've already wear tested. That's pretty. All right, let me take some Rephr brushes here. This is a Rephr number 1. You know I love a Rephr number 1. And I'm just going to take this shade right here, do a little bit of an eye look with it. Why not? The peach scent is very powerful when you first apply it, but it does fade. You know, and I don't feel it on my eyes. I always sometimes wonder if it's in my head or not. Does it burn when it has a scent? And to me, this does not. And again, I don't know if that's actually even true or if it's kind of psychological. Let me switch to a Rephr number 3 and take that same shade and put it underneath the eyes. Oh, that's pretty. And I'm going to keep that brush in my hand, and I'm going to go into that highlighter and just put that into the center I love a good highlighter on the eye. Okay, back to the number 1. Putting that here towards the outside part of the eye. I'm going to use all 4 of these on the eye. And as you guys know, I love the same thing on eyes as cheeks because it really makes a put together look. Let's do this more radiant shade, more towards that highlighter shade, just so it kind of goes highlight, less highlighted, and then matte. I kind of like that gradation there. This is very comfortable on the eyes and applies beautifully onto the eyes. I love the highlight. I love the highlight. Okay. Now remember, I have overdone the cheeks, so I'm more like the orange blossom princess or something. I don't know, it's very, very orange, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Okay. We're going to talk about this. I think this is an intelligent collection. The scent of the peach is very intelligent. It references Too Faced, though it's a stronger scent. The humor is fantastic, you know, listing things like it's missing ingredient, it's missing bigotry, it's missing trolling, you know, it's including honesty. I like that. Makes you read the ingredients. I think that's smart. I think this is definitely an introductory collection. We got a face palette, a foundation, and a mascara. And I think Jared and Jeremy are saying these are the basics to a look. In other words, I think they would agree with me that this could be used on eyes and cheeks. Maybe not this overdone, I don't know. On eyes and cheeks to achieve a look and maybe add a little mascara and add a lip gloss. We're obviously gonna see more. I think we'll also see more brands. They're kind of like a beauty incubator. So we're gonna get more out of them. I think it's one to watch. I think together they are unbeatable. And though they took some hits and kicks in the beauty industry, there's a lot of brands now that wouldn't exist without Too Faced having walked in footsteps first, you know, following in their footsteps, quite literally, actually. So I think they're going to reference Too Faced, and then I think they're going to keep moving and growing, and I think they will be one to watch. How can they not be? I root for them. We all remember early Too Faced. I'm not saying this reminds me of early Too Faced because it doesn't. It doesn't. Too Faced had its own trajectory. But this is referencing classic Too Faced, let's put it that way, and then growing from there. And I think we will see growth, and I think it will be very interesting. These perform really well. It's fun. It's different. There's not a lot to see right now. There's a peach face palette. You like it or you don't like it, but it performs beautifully. There's a foundation that's a very nice foundation. I'm not finding it any more or less exciting than other foundations, to be honest, but I certainly can't find fault with it. And I am watching. I think we all are. I am definitely watching, and I am rooting for them. They're kind of beauty world royalty, really, aren't they? So a power couple within beauty. So I am definitely watching to see what happens and see what other brands are released and to see where Polite Society goes. And I think it could be pretty good. I want to know what you think. Tell me, you know, no matter what you want to say about Jared and Jeremy, you can't say they're not innovative, creative, amazing makeup artists with amazing vision. I just dare someone to say that that's not true. It is true. So I want to know what you guys think, though, of the line. Are you rooting for them, too? Are you like, no, not interested at all? What the heck are they doing? What are your thoughts, okay? This is a very, very interesting topic to me anyway. So leave your thoughts below. That's what makes us a community. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that we can continue to grow. While it is true that YouTube recommends videos from creators that you have already watched, it still helps me if you click that subscribe button. It really helps me grow. And while you're at it, come say a big hello over on Instagram, TikTok, and on Threads too. Don't forget you can become a bigger part of this YouTube community by becoming a channel member for behind the scenes and weekly gossipy lives. And you can give super thanks. You can shop from those links below. Frankly, any way that you choose to be involved in this channel, I am thrilled to have you here, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.